during this video, I'm going to show you some of the most well-known movie locations in Edinburgh, including Harry Potter, Fast and Furious, Avengers, plus many, many more. Keep watching to find out how you can also visit these places. So without further ado, lights, camera, action! So let's start with Harry Potter. So let's start discussing two elephants in the room. More on them in a moment. The first one being Harry Potter wasn't actually filmed in Edinburgh. However, J.K. Rowling wrote her first book here. As you walk around the city, you can clearly see the architecture and buildings have a massive influence on the wizarding world of Harry Potter that we know and love today. The second elephant in the room is the location where the first book was written. The book was written in a coffee shop called the Elephant House. The original location's on George Street. However, there's also a replica elephant house you can now visit on Victoria Street. Talking of Victoria Street, both Victoria and Cockburn Street, with their curved streets and buildings, were the influence behind the look and feel of Diagon Alley in the books and movies. The mound with its dome roof and Edinburgh Castle were said to be inspirations for Gringotts and Hogwarts School. Lastly, Greyfriars Cemetery. It's said the graveyard had an influence on the final scenes in the Goblet of Fire, where Voldemort and Harry battle for the first time. And if that wasn't enough, names like Potter, McGonagall, Moody, and most famously Thomas Riddle can be found on gravestones throughout the graveyard. Tom Riddle is one of the hardest names to spot. Will you be able to find it? So moving on to Sunshine on Leith, a movie that I absolutely love and is an Edinburgh classic. This musical follows two soldiers returning to Edinburgh. We follow their struggles of trying to integrate back into normal everyday life. The musical is filmed exclusively in Edinburgh and has a lot of proclaimer songs throughout. There's too many locations to specifically mention on this video, but if you plan to visit Edinburgh and want to feel part of the movie set, watching this movie is a must. Highlights include various drone shots of Edinburgh's beautiful skyline. Throughout the movie, you'll visit Leith Marina, Carlton Hill, Waverley Station and Edinburgh Castle. Also not forgetting the Scottish National Gallery and Ramsey Lane onto Mound Place. The final scene plays out with the Proclaimers 500 miles taking place outside the Scottish Gallery. So let's talk about fast cars, Fast and Furious 9. Who hasn't seen a Fast and Furious film? Some amazing highlights throughout Edinburgh, including a car and foot chase can be seen all over Edinburgh. The main highlights being where Dom is speeding down Victoria Street and the Royal Mile, including Princess Street. There's also the crew carrying out surveillance and Dom jumping from building to building over St Giles Cathedral and many more. So Eurovision, the movie, the Story of Fire Saga, which is a Will Ferrell movie about Eurovision. Edinburgh highlights include Victoria Street, where Lars and Sigrit are driving through Victoria Street taking in sights of the castle. They go for a drink at the White Hart on Grassmarket. They ride a Segway through Princess Street Gardens and Carlton Hill to admire the views and listening to a man on a piano. You'll also find various iconic locations in the final car chase, when Lars desperately tries to return to the Eurovision final. These include Edinburgh Airport, the Royal Mile and Victoria Street. The arena is the SSE Arena in Glasgow. So now I'm sure the one you've always been waiting for, Avengers Infinity Wars. Hollywood blockbuster and must-visit locations for any Marvel fan. We see Vision and Wanda walking up Cockburn Street before they are attacked by members of the Black Order. The initial scene is filmed near the top of Cockburn Street and Flesh Market Street. The scene takes place outside a kebab shop, which is really the Milkman coffee shop, and Wanda is thrown into Layla's coffee shop across the road. Wanda and Vision continue their fight on the Royal Mile, and Wanda is seen fighting outside the Edinburgh City Chambers, while Vision fights on the roof of St Giles Cathedral. The fighting concludes at Waverley Station, and any fans of this movie will remember this scene. All I'm going to say is the train, Captain America, and... Now let's move on to some other filming locations in Edinburgh. Cloud Atlas, The Da Vinci Code, and of course Trainspotting 1 and 2. There's also some great TV shows including Good Omens, Baby Reindeer and Outlander were also filmed in and around Edinburgh. If you really enjoyed this video, then don't forget to check out our channel where you'll see other filming locations. Also, make sure you add a comment about your favourite Edinburgh filming location. Alternatively, if you want to know some top things to do in Edinburgh or where to go and eat and drink, also check out our other videos on Edinburgh. If you want to see us make more free videos like this, please like, subscribe and share our channel. See you next time!